Hi folks, Canadian Prepper here. All right guys, so the government said, hey, if you buy an EV for your business, we'll give you a little tax credit. Is this a good fit for preppers or is it not? We're gonna talk about it today because we got ourselves a Tesla Model 3. One thing Tesla can't do is get you through one of these cluster F drive-thrus at Tim Hortons at rush hour. Look what the Russians did. They've hacked Tim Hortons. It's causing chaos across Canada as now displays are vertical instead of horizontal. So now we are forced to place our orders like this. When you find yourself inevitably at a Tesla dealership parking lot, it's gonna feel a lot like you're in the women's lingerie section or the women's gynecological section at a pharmacy. But trust me, once you get inside these things, you will become a total dick. This is probably at once the most masculine yet feminine androgynous vehicle on the road. If there was ever a vehicle that was going to be misgendered, it's definitely going to be this one. There's nothing that says undercompensating like a Tesla Model 3. Now that all the bad jokes are out of the way, we got to talk about what are the pros and cons. Some of the pros are absolutely amazing, and some of the cons are absolutely terrifying. One of the downsides of a Tesla is that right when you enter one, you immediately become a snob because this vehicle is, from a driving perspective, better than anything else on the road. One of the other mixed blessings of the Tesla is all these cameras. We got one here, we got one here, we got one here, we got another one here, here, and of course right on the back here. There's also a camera looking straight at me right here. Now the downside of all this technology is that it's Big Brother's wet dream. There's something about Justin Trudeau and the Ministry of Transport being able to peer in my vehicle at any given time that I find a tad unsettling. But hey, at least it drives itself, and when the time comes, it will drive me to the police station so the Gestapo can book me. One of the other scary things about this vehicle is this safety score. Okay, when you drive a Tesla, you get yourself what's called a safety score, and every single day, it'll show you all the daily details of how bad you drove. Now, this is good from an insurance perspective if you are a very good driver. If you drive like an old lady, then this is the feature that you want because it's going to get you a lower insurance rate. And Tesla actually has their own insurance, so it kind of makes sense. The scary thing is, though, in the dystopian future that awaits, is this going to be used to penalize people? Are you going to be automatically ticketed when this information gets beamed back to the Ministry of Transport? So the Tesla is smart. It shows guys outside. There's the communist cameraman. Another really dumb thing about this car is the lack of AC outputs. You would think when you're sitting on 100 kilowatts of power that somebody at Tesla, especially Elon Musk, the doomsday prepper he is, the guy who wants to go to Mars, digging tunnels in the earth, putting solar panels on everybody's houses, making electric vehicles that can run indefinitely, you'd think that the guy would give us some frickin' AC power outlets. Come on, Elon, what the hell is wrong with you? So if I want to go into autopilot or auto steer, all I got to do is double tap that, and basically the car is steering itself. So I can read my script I have for this video while the Tesla drives itself. Oh, there's a corner here. What's gonna happen? Oh no, I'm gonna die. Oh, look at that. It figured it out. It's turning. Amazing technology. I wonder where it's taking me. Is it taking me to the gulags? Now, this isn't even the full self-driving. The actual full self-driving, it shows everything on the screen. It shows everything around. The sensors see all the cars, all the people, all the bikes on the road, the signs, the lights, you name it. I don't have that yet because my safety score is too low. If you do not put your hands on the steering wheel after 15 seconds, you get punished. And alarm bells start going off in the Tesla. You see it says apply slight turning force to the steering wheel. I'm gonna get punished here. It's flashing more dramatically. I refuse to apply slight turning force to the steering wheel. Auto steer unavailable for the rest of this drive. You are punished, you little bitch. See, now I wanna go back and auto steer. It won't do it. Auto steer unavailable for the rest of this drive. Come on, man, I paid good money for this thing. Oh, what's going on? See, it sees the pylons on the road, sees the guys working hard in the hot sun, the 34-degree sweltering heat. So when we bought the car, I asked the guy, hey, you know, what's the best place to put a jack on this car in case I need to jack it up and change a tire? And he kind of looked at me like, what do you mean change a tire? And so I look under this thing here expecting to find a spare tire. And he's like, you don't need a spare tire. That's what roadside assistance is for. This is the other scary thing from a preparedness perspective, is this inability to not only fix your car, even though there's not a lot of moving parts on these. One of the benefits is that there's no fluids, there's no oil changes. However, you're basically condemned to rely on roadside assistance, which we all know, when the grid goes down and the proverbial shizzy hits the fizzy, ain't gonna be there. The last thing that some tow truck driver is gonna do when it all hits the fan is come rescue your dumb ass. Teslas are incredibly quiet vehicles, unlike most of these loud vehicles around me right now and this godforsaken wind. One thing I'll say, if you want to get your post-apocalyptic creep on, nothing's going to allow you to get down with the 187 like a good old Tessie. The other thing is these minor cosmetic issues, okay? So this is the good old frunk. When you close the frunk, Tesla is notorious for not lining things up properly. To be brutally honest, this is something I could really care less about, because this was not a vanity purchase. This was purely for practicality, even though when I get inside it, I drive it like a snob. So if you notice on this side, there's a certain distance to the gap. And then if you come over here, it's actually a different distance. It's much wider on this side. Not a huge deal, but just little minor imperfections like this that Tesla might need to work out in the future iterations of their vehicles. You know, I think this is a problem for people who are snobs, which are, let's face it, most people who drive Teslas. So like I said, a Tesla turns you into a total snob. It makes every Tom, Dick, and Harry think that they're an F1 racer. Just like this. 0 to 100 in 3 seconds. I mean, it doesn't get cooler than that. The only problem is that as your battery goes down, the acceleration will decline correspondingly. But it's still really cool to catch the communist cameraman off guard and do this. I really look forward to the Cybertruck because the clearance on this vehicle is really, really shallow. Don't expect to take one of these off-road. The reason why it's so low to the ground is because the thing is so damn heavy with all this lithium battery on it that the only way they could maximize mileage is by maximizing aerodynamics. Okay, so we're just going to a supercharge station here. This is the only supercharger in town. There's a lot of chargers around, but this is the only supercharger. So if you want to do it lightning fast, this is where you want to come. Now, because there's not a lot of Teslas where I live, this place is usually pretty empty. But apparently, that's not the case in a lot of other places, okay? So depending on where you live, you might have a very crowded Tesla supercharge network. Now they're gonna be opening up the Tesla supercharge network to any other EV car. This means that the lineups are only going to get longer because Tesla is trying to get some kind of government tax break. So needless to say, a lot of Tesla owners not happy about that.
Another cool feature about the Tesla is there's this thing called Sentry Mode. This basically allows you to be notified if anybody is in the immediate vicinity of your vehicle at any given time. You could look at all the cameras on your vehicle. You can even make the vehicle honk to scare people away, or even just to randomly troll people who are walking by your vehicle. Always good to give random passerbys a heart attack. You can even flash the lights if you want. It also saves the recordings anytime somebody passes by the vehicle. So if your vehicle gets scratched or somebody opens their door and bumps into your car, you'll actually have video evidence of that, and it will likely also catch them driving away, so you'll get their license plate.
One of the biggest concerns of preppers is electromagnetic pulse, or EMP. And absolutely, if 50,000 volts gets pumped into this sucker because Russia decided to detonate a high altitude nuclear warhead, this thing ain't moving anywhere. One of the biggest benefits of getting an EV, and the sole purpose for me getting this vehicle in the first place, is that you're going to save a lot of money on gas. However, as more people start migrating to EVs, that's going to put more stress on the power grid, and therefore the price of electricity is likely going to skyrocket. So I think that the savings that a lot of people are seeing on their EVs right now is not going to translate well in the future. One of the obvious downsides with an electric vehicle is the slower refueling time. With a Tesla supercharger, it's probably going to take around 45 minutes to an hour to fully charge the vehicle from zero. If you're charging it from home, it's going to take a couple days from zero, unless you have one of the home quick chargers, which will charge it, I believe, in 4 to 8 hours. Now, eventually gasoline is going to run out. So if you did have a large solar array on your homestead, you could theoretically power your Tesla indefinitely. However, it's going to take a long time to charge, especially if you have a small solar array. Now, like I said, the Tesla does have this massive lithium battery that can theoretically store power that you could harvest, in theory, if you were to use a 12-volt inverter and plug in stuff that way. So as an emergency power source, there is potential there, but damn it, I wish Elon Musk would just give us just one freaking AC power outlet. So as you can see right now, we are supercharging. It's showing us how much it's costing us. Okay, it's pumping a lot of power in here. We're at 54 kilowatts and 6 kilowatts per hour. It's going to charge the first 80% of the battery as quickly as the last 20%. You don't have to swipe a credit card or anything. Tesla automatically charges your card for this charging session. Now, one of the cool things about the Tesla is the massive Infotainment Center, okay? Incredibly minimalist interior. You have all your stuff here, YouTube, Disney, Netflix. You can browse the internet. One of the coolest things, though, is we all know Elon Musk has a dark sense of humor, so we're gonna play some Fallout Shelter. So this is my Fallout Shelter here. I just gotta collect all my stuff. So we got our power station, all right? So these guys are all working. This guy needs an hour to lie down, take a chill pill. This is the breeding area, so if you send a man and woman in here, they'll breed and make more babies for your Fallout Shelter. You got your power. I always put guys who have like armor and weapons near the entrance of the bunker, because you can see this is the wasteland, and sometimes marauders will come and try to raid your place. And I think that the addition of Fallout Shelter in all Teslas, that's a sign, man. One of the coolest things is the frunk. Looks kind of goofy, but I tell you, very convenient. It gives you a nice amount of space. It's also a great place to get a good night's sleep and shelter yourself from the coming storm. The frunk is absolutely amazing. But damn it, Elon! Give me an AC outlet, would ya? So if you go to this toy box, you can do something called Boombox. This is going to let you talk to people outside the vehicle.
Elon Musk, I need AC outlets. I need more AC outlets in my Tesla.
One of the best things about the Tesla is that it's American made. That's one really good thing, especially this day and age. In an Orwellian sense, this car is an absolute nightmare, but it's also one of the funnest cars you'll ever drive. So it's the biggest mixed blessing in technology that I think we've had to date. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe. Canadian Prepper out.
The best way to support this channel is to support yourself by gearing up at CanadianPreparedness.com, where you'll find high-quality survival gear at the best prices, no junk, and no gimmicks. Use discount code PREPPINGGEAR for 10% off. Don't forget, the strong survive, but the prepared thrive. Stay safe.
Frunk.